I don't know if anybody even seen me on here, all the talking we just did.
Wait, did you see this box?
It's our 1-year anniversary. 1 year we shut down the train. We caused an economic block against Canada for illegally invading Wet'suwet'en territory. The media lied. They said that we were all about just in solidarity with the stopping the pipeline, but the truth is that Trudeau authorized, and the RCMP, who are the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, broke the Canadian Constitution, and they dishonored the Crown as Crown Police, and they illegally invaded Wet'suwet'en territory because their Constitution says that they're not allowed to go on land and occupy land that hasn't been treated and hasn't been an agreement where the Crown has purchased the land from the Indians. And the Wet'suwet'en never gave up their land to the Crown. So going in there was illegal. And the mainstream media didn't want to tell the truth, because what they did was in accordance to the Geneva Convention, genocide. And so the Mohawks, we stood against it. And we made economic blockade, because you're not going to profit and pass through our land while you do that to our brothers and sisters. So we're celebrating today. We're here. We had big fireworks, and we had hot chocolate and coffee, and we're standing in the cold and the snow, and we're celebrating because we seen everybody across the country. We seen 300 rail and bridge blockades and highway blockades. We seen rolling blockades. We seen the entire rail system, the Canadian rail system, shut down. We seen ports closed. We seen 10,000 man marches in the cities across this country. And public opinion was nearly 50% in favor of shut down Canada, because what Trudeau and what the RCMP did was illegal, and everybody knows it. And it's continuing. It happened more with what happened out in Mi'kmaq territory this year. Racism, people burning down the people willing to buy and sell Mi'kmaq lobster. It'll continue, but we need to celebrate. We need to be focused and celebrate on the positive. The positive is that we shut down Canada together, and that we learned something, that we're powerful. And we didn't use violence. We used our minds, and we used our intelligence, and we used our strength and our love for each other. And that's powerful. They brought guns here, and we repelled them with love. And the fools wrapped us up in court cases they're going to lose, while we're still free, while we're still celebrating, while we're still loving one another, and we're still on our land. And what was born out of shut down Canada was land back. And more we've seen land back occupations all over the country. We've seen them in Mohawk territory, we've seen them with Wet'suwet'en territory, we've seen them in Anishinaabe territory, we've seen them in Mi'kmaq territory, and I hope we see a lot more. So I want to encourage all of you to not feel discouraged whatsoever, but to feel excited, because we have a new year coming. Spring will be here soon. It will be time. Go land back. Go to the places where your people once set up their fishing villages. Go there and make new ones. Go there and fish again. Put your food away. Don't worry about COVID. Worry about your taking care of your health, and worry about taking care of your people, and take back your land. And I want to thank that young lady. I don't even know her name. She was screaming land back, and she wrote hashtag land back while they were in Victoria in the legislature. And I heard that. And me and the other ones, older people than you young people, we heard you and we agree and we support you and we back you. And if you want your land back, go and take it. Because we love you. And we believe in you. And we'll help you. However we can. And so there's a message to all the people. It's time. Don't back down. In your communities, you're going to have elected officials who are getting paid, that are afraid they're going to lose their money, trying to discourage you. You're going to have fraudsters who pretend that they're the real deal, grassroots, when they're not. Kind of stop you. Repel it with love. Repel it with love for your people and your land. And rise. And you'll be successful. So there's a little fire for you. We had big fireworks tonight. We had a big party. We drank hot chocolate, and we drank coffees. And we're here on Wyman's Road. And we're celebrating. Because this is a special place for us now. It's the place where we seen Canada got shut down. And for all of you who helped us, who stood beside the Wet'suwet'en and stood beside the Mohawks and stood beside your own people, you're awesome. You're awesome. And all the ladies that came and the men that came and brought food and brought water and hugged us and thanked us, you be proud of yourself because you helped. I don't know what else to say tonight. Just that it's time. And don't run. It's okay. And when you get scared or when you don't know what to do, just go to the people around you. Go to your elders. Go to the other nations and say, hey, you have any experience of this? And put your big brains together and figure out a plan and just do it. Just do it. Don't be afraid. Don't talk yourself out of it.
Always check in on them elders.
Just do it. I don't know what else to say other than it was a pretty crazy time last year. I'm going to be giving some updates soon. The court stuff's happening still. I think there's something like 28 of us that got charged with a bunch of charges, and we're fighting them. And they made all kind of lies. They said that we didn't claim this land as ours. But we came to this spot because in 1823, they came here with surveyors on this land, and they surveyed a 5-mile stretch of land, 12.5 miles long, and they claimed that we sold it to them, to the crown, and we never did. And 70 warriors, Mohawk warriors, came here to this area, and they went to push them out of there, and they kicked out the surveyors, and they came with the military against us, and they told us that. They told the people that if they ever tried to rise up again, that they would come with the military. And so they pushed our people off this land, and they claimed it as theirs, and they claimed it as the 1823 surrender, but we didn't surrender it. So we came back to our land here. It's the biggest part of our land. It severed our northern territory with our southern territory. It's where they put the 401 and the number 2 highway and the train, the Grand Trunk Railroad. And they used our money. People don't know it. But Sir Johnny MacDonald, he couldn't get the money from Britain to put the train through to link all the provinces together. So he took the Six Nations money and the Mohawks money and our trust fund money, and they used it to pay to put the train in. They built a couple of universities, I think McMaster and Osgoode Hall, York University. And they built the Erie Canal, and they built the Grand Trunk, the railroad that linked all the provinces. And they used our money to do it. And so they foolishly charged us with trespass and with blocking them from having access to their property. But they got to prove it's their property. And the land is ours that was on, and it was our money that paid for it to be built. What they're going to find is that they're going to prove that they don't own it at all, and that it's ours. And we knew that. And so we came to this place and chose this place because they did to us in 1823 what they were doing to the Wet'suwet'en a year ago today. And we remembered, and we couldn't stand it. And we said to ourselves, if they'll do that to them, they'll do it to everyone. And they'll do it to us again. And they came here and they beat us up and they dragged us away and they beat up our men. And they turned off the power in our community and terrified our people. This is what the police did.
Brutally hurt people, man.
They brutalized us on our own land, while they promised that they were in negotiations for peace, while they promised that there was a deal made and that the RCMP were going to be removed and that the Wet'suwet'en were happy with it. They told us this. And so we were waiting peacefully for that to happen, waiting for the call from Chief Was, the hereditary chiefs. And instead they came with hundreds and hundreds of OPP, with riot gear, with sniper rifles, with trucks. That's what they did. Drones. And they arrested our men. But we stayed. And we seen that the people rose up, and so we stayed here. We held the road. And we made the OPP stand there as long as we could. And we didn't want to take away anybody's energy. And we thought maybe there'd be enough would come here to help us retake it. But it was good timing. We decided we were tired and it was time for us to put our camp away. And so we did that. And it was right around the same time that COVID came about, and they announced that. And many of us suspected that the reason why they announced COVID the way they did was to stop all of what was happening with shut down Canada. Many of you have said that. But we don't know. We don't know. It looks like they're trying to destroy their own economy. They're only keeping the big box stores open and closing all the ma and pa and the family and the small stores. Maybe they're trying to come up with a new currency, a new money system, the one that they can completely track. I don't know.
Plastic.
Anyways, maybe it's time we make our own money, make our own trade currency, and ignore them completely. Anyways, I just wanted to tell you that I was very proud of all of you people all across the country and all the beautiful things that you did and the courage that you showed a year ago. And you can do it anytime. And we've got land back occupations happening in multiple locations across the country. My brother Skylar and his family and his people on the Grand River over there, they need us to support them, just like everywhere else. And I encourage you to do that because it's important. And you can't just do occupation for a little while. You have to do it forever. So that means having stamina. And that's what those people have, and I'm very proud of them for that. Anyways, I don't want to be out here all night talking. I don't know what else to say. We had a little party. We celebrated. We celebrated because we learned last year that we could shut down Canada, all of us together, and we did it. And it almost happened again when they burnt down the Mi'kmaq pound, the lobster pounds. And they knew it. That's why they ran there and brought money and tried to buy off that band council and try to get them to set up their own system. Because they didn't want to see the Mi'kmaq rise. And they didn't want to see all the other nations rise beside them. That's what they did. That's okay. It's okay. Anyways, I'm probably boring everybody, so I'm going to be quiet now. But there's a fire. And I don't want anybody getting excited saying that we're overthrowing the police or the government or trying to block roads or trains, because we have a bunch of retards around saying crazy things like that. And I'm not always politically correct when I talk, because I'm just a real average guy. But don't believe that nonsense. Just when you hear it out of the person's mouth, believe that, not lies spun by liars. Anyways, you have a fabulous evening, people, and celebrate wherever you are. And when your community and when your group of people and when your horror society went out and shut the road down or shut the bridge down or shut the train down, you go out and have a celebration with your people that night, just like we did. Go out and have some fireworks on the road, or go and have a feast, or have a social dance, and just go to that spot and gather your people up. Let them remember that power and that energy and make them feel good again. Everybody needs to have a little bit of wind blown back in their sail after this long year of COVID. Everybody needs that. I'm sorry it's so black and you can't see me. I'm still here though. Anyways, I'm going to call it a night. I love yous. Keep at it.